Tucker Carlson is trying to become the new MAGA hero. He wants to fill that space that is going to be emptied by Donald Trump. He wants to lead the cult, okay? And he has people like Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens that are willing to help him. Now, what's interesting about this is Cenk Uygur, he would love to be the guy who leads the cult, okay? But Cenk Uygur is like, nobody likes him, okay? Nobody does. He got 6% of the vote running for a congressional seat. Dude, Cenk Uygur is like, his days are long gone, okay? He is categorically unlikable, and nobody takes him seriously on either side. He is like a used car salesman of politics at this point. However, I think Tucker thinks that Cenk Uygur can legitimize him to some of these left-leaning people that, like, whatever weird audience Cenk and Anna still have, which are kind of like, they're sort of moving towards that Jimmy Dore crowd. Don't you think? Don't you think that Cenk and Anna are kind of going into Jimmy Dore land, right? Where they're no longer left-wing progressives. They're like, they claim they're populists, but they're really like right-wingers, but they're sort of trying to be like something that's not anything else. They're trying to be like, oh, we're the only people telling the truth. And that's what it feels like. They're kind of like becoming that Jimmy Dore-ish fake shit. But so I think like Cenk and Anna are looking for someone who will let them be a part of their populist team. They didn't get to be Bernie people. Nobody in the Democratic Party will have them. MAGA will never really go toward them. But if they bring Tucker Carlson to an audience he can't normally reach, he might reward them and make them his, like, CBS to his power, like the same way that Trump has, like, Barry Weiss, right? So maybe the TYT becomes the Tucker Carlson populism mouthpiece, and they get big fat money in order to just say really nice things about the Tucker movement, right? I mean, dude, and then they get to hate both parties in the process, which Anna and Cenk would love. Like, that's what I think is going on here. They are looking for a sugar daddy, and Tucker Carlson is looking for someone that can help make him seem less extreme.
Good to see you, Cenk.
Good to see you, Tucker.
I haven't seen you since we had a debate years ago, I think, at Politicon. Totally different world. But I was thinking this morning as I was driving in, I'm like, of all the things you could do to infuriate your audience, this is probably at the top of the list. Like, you don't need to do this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. So there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, I want to take yes for an answer. You're anti-war. We've been anti-war for 20 years. So
I have not been. So bless you for that.
Thank you, brother, and welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
And so that's amazing. That's important. And I also want to bring.
I have no shame is like perfect, dude. Oh my God. Why are you here? Let me tell you. Can I just say though, dude, that side shot of Cenk sitting at that tiny log table is like not it, bro. Like somebody, like, I hope they don't go to that side camera, dude. Oh my God, bro.
Break down the barriers of Republicans versus Democrats, right wing versus left wing. I think that it's kind of used to divide us. And I think that the powerful already have an incredible elite team. They're very, very organized, and they do it through donations to the politicians, etc. Yes. But the American people are not organized. We have built two teams, but those two teams, the Republicans and the Democrats, have been trained to fight each other instead of fighting up.
See, it's so funny because you're right. Somebody in chat said Cenk thinks he's like the great unifier. Oh, let's break down the Republican Democrat. But like, dude, Cenk Uygur can't do that with his own side. And there's a rule, guys. If you can't like make a coalition with your own people, you can't make a coalition with people who fucking hate each other, bro. Like, it's as simple as that. If you can't bring your own people together, nobody is going to follow you crossing crazy like militarized and tribalist boundaries. And that's what's so funny though, because Cenk has basically avoided the job of like doing the work, right? I mean, it's like anything. If you want to succeed at some job, you want to do the work you need to do to like develop a foundation of success. And so Cenk avoided, he like pissed off everyone on his side and he rails at them constantly, but then he's like, oh yeah, no. I'm going to go do this other thing, this noble thing that my leftist friends won't do. But like, dude, yeah, you're saying that, but you can't even get along with your leftist friends that you fucking agree with, much less you think you're going to become some populist icon. Like, come on, bro. You know, come on. We know what you're doing. We know you're trying to move right there, shitter.
And mainstream media works against us and they try to shut us up and say, shh, don't tell anybody about money in politics.
Yes.
No, these politicians are honest and honorable people having debates. They're not having any debates. They're cashing checks. And so I want all of America to know that. And at the end of the day, Tucker, if we don't unite as Americans, the powerful are going to rule us forever.
Dude, it's so funny though. I'm sorry, guys, but just between you and me, before we go further, I do have to give a disclaimer. Every time Cenk Uygur talks about money in politics, I get a little bit offended by him even saying this because Cenk Uygur takes corporate money up the ass, bro. Polymarket, Katzenberg, right? I mean, he is the biggest corporate like sniff off. He is the biggest corporate chair sniffer, money seeker. I will sell myself to anybody who gives me money and I will do their bidding. He is the biggest corporate money whore I think I've ever seen, bro. And then he simultaneously says, oh, I'm here to get the money out of politics. By the way, do you hear that sound? That's when you give me money.
Jeffrey Epstein was much more powerful than we realized. He could set up a meeting with almost any world leader. He could get almost anyone into the White House. Again, Ehud Barak has trouble getting into the White House. Epstein makes a call, boom, he's in the White House.
See, again, how are they leaving Trump out of this shit? Like, I don't think you can talk about Epstein without talking about Donald Trump. I literally don't think you can talk about them individually. If you're talking about Epstein, you are talking about Trump. And if you're talking about Trump, you're talking about Epstein. And nobody can convince me otherwise that those guys were not like deeply fucking connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way, bro. But it's weird because they'll talk about Epstein all day long, but they won't talk about Trump's positioning and connection and the foundational Trump part of the Epstein. It's like the same shit they do with Israel, where they want to talk about Israel. They don't want to talk about the American Zionists that are back in this shit.
Israeli spy stays over at Epstein's house. There's just no question about it. He is definitely intelligence, and in every turn, he's looking to help one country, and it's Israel. American media says, shut up. No. Jeffrey Epstein, New York Times has a story about how he's like a Forrest Gump. He just tripped over the money. And oh, God.
Yeah, and what happened, Cenk? Why did he get off? Why did him and his 4 lieutenant women all get lifetime immunity? Why did that case get buried? Because Donald Trump's future labor secretary set all that up, which means Donald Trump's future labor secretary knows who Epstein was connected to. And Donald Trump knows who he was connected to because that guy later got a big fat promotion until he had to take the fall for Donald Trump after it all came out because of Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit and Julie K. Brown's exposés. But again, are they ever going to talk about Trump in this occasion? Do they? I don't know. Have you watched this thing? Is there a moment where these guys actually come and center it around Trump? Or is it always just this theoretical shit? Like, you know, it's like so weird. They talk around Trump like always. They just dance around him. He's like burning in the middle of the room. And they just like plug their noses and fucking dance away, boss.
Robert Maxwell stole our nuclear secrets. The worst possible thing you could do.
Robert Maxwell. Oh, who was his good buddy? Huh? Right? Oh, yeah, again. Another name is coming up. Who was Robert Maxwell's good buddy? Right? Oh, there we go. It all comes back to the pant shitter, bro. At the center of all of this is an 80-year-old man who shits his pants regularly.
We didn't even arrest him. And when I looked into why didn't we arrest Robert Maxwell? Because it would have caused an international incident that embarrassed Israel. Well, they should be embarrassed. They stole our nuclear secrets when they were pretending to be our allies. They should be deeply, deeply embarrassed. No. Not only was Robert Maxwell not arrested, he was allowed to buy textbooks in America that go into our kids' schools. We're letting a traitor like that, a guy, he wasn't American, but he was a British citizen. He was and he lived here, he lived there. And we're letting him buy the textbooks that go into our kids' schools after he stole our nuclear secrets.
See, does Cenk Uygur, does he not see his own role here? Right? Like, do you hear what he just said? Like, oh my God, we let Robert Maxwell, he steals secrets and we let him make textbooks. But like, dude, Donald Trump stole secrets. Donald Trump created an insurrection. Donald Trump did that same shit. And then during the election, him and Anna were like, well, he's not really going to be a fascist. He said he doesn't believe in Project 2025. Oh, we're now Polymarket Studio that was like funded by his vice president, right? He's like, oh, he sees Robert Maxwell and the audacity, and then he like basically like stands next to the Trump train and is like, that's not really the same thing, dude. Dude, it is. It is absolutely selective because again, this is the crazy shit that Donald Trump is like the ringleader of these American Zionists, but all he wants to talk about is like the country of Israel. Meanwhile, the American sharks are literally right there engaged in this same shit, man. And it's like, dude, he has the political instincts of a fucking like a salamander, dude. He just has no vision whatsoever.
And I challenge all of cable news anchors. So why don't you talk about, for example, one of hundreds of things that we've mentioned here, but another one is 9 Americans killed in Israel over the last 3 years. 9 Americans killed not accidentally, but by Israeli settlers or the IDF. Murder.
Actually?
Actually. You know how much?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Do you know how many consequences there's been? 0. Our government does not ask for them to be arrested. What do you mean? An American citizen is killed?
What about 𝗙𝗽𝗏? He's the American ambassador.
Who just met with Jonathan Pollard, the traitor, in the U.S. embassy without telling the CIA or Donald Trump. 𝗙𝗽𝗏 is not our ambassador. He's their ambassador.
I know.
Okay.
It's sad to see a man so degraded.
Yeah. So where's our justice for the 9 Americans?
Dude, isn't that funny? To see Tucker say it's sad to see a man so degraded, and then I look at these two clowns, and like Cenk Uygur is like about as degraded as they come, right? And Tucker Carlson was like talking about demons attacking him. I mean, both of these guys would literally like they would eat feces if it meant they got some sort of political power, right? You know what I mean? Like these guys would literally, they have zero shame. Like both of them would literally, they would like, take a donkey into the shed together for the tiniest bit of political power.
Killed. Are we going to even ask for justice?